So it's a pleasure to speak to you both today. Congrats on the film. It's really great. Kayleigh, a lot of fans have really been looking forward to seeing Yuta, in the anime, and this is such a great way to introduce him. What did getting this role and getting to star in such a highly anticipated film mean to you?
It has meant so much to me, honestly. It's been such an interesting experience and like one that's been so fulfilling. At first, I tried not to get too excited about it, because I have the mentality of like until it's out, like I haven't done it. It's not real. So I was like trying to lower those feelings inside of me. But I was also like, this is really cool. I really like this show. I really like this world. I really like this character. And then when they announced, I finally was like, okay, I can be excited. Hello. And people have been so nice and like welcoming. And it's really like it's really given me such a powerful experience of like not only experience in acting, but like how these things are navigated and like just the thought that I can go to the theater and see a character that I am portraying in the English dub, like on a poster, that's going to be super, super cool. So it's something that I'll always like keep in the back of my pocket and have checked off the bucket list.
Awesome. I love it. And Anairis, you get to play a character that dies. You're dead throughout most of this film, but you're still actively contributing to the story. How was it playing? There's so many different versions of Rika. How was it, putting your different spin on them?
It was really fun. Rika in general is an archetype that I've never played with before. It's an archetype that I've always enjoyed and like kind of fantasized, playing with, but like I finally got to play with, this little girl that almost has yandere energy, and has such duality between her human form and her cursed form. Um, and it was really cool that I got to explore doing that archetype with Jujutsu Kaisen Zero specifically because I think Jujutsu Kaisen in general is this really well written story that has this really, you know, um, really great complex characters that gives the actors a lot to chew on. And Rika, she's a little bit more mysterious, I think, but there's still stuff that you can play with. And I I I based a lot of her personality or a lot of my performance in making sure that it came from a grounded place, making sure that, hey, like when she is in her human form, she is like this kid who is having fun. She is this kid who, loves having fun with somebody who is alone like her and she can relate to and that she cares for deeply. And it was playing with that and grounding that and making that seem real for me as the actor and making sure that was real for the audience as well. And then you go with Cursed Rika, who, is totally different from human Rika, and I guess kind of exemplifies the more negative aspects, I guess, of a child, throwing tantrums, having these base emotions of just jealousy or obsession or whatever. Um, and, it's fun playing with that, but also trying to ground it as well. I think Cursed Rika, in the movie can sometimes come off a little hammy almost, and like how she's animated or portrayed. But, at the end of the day, I always try to keep it based in a very humble, authentic place so that, whenever we're playing with the development, specifically of Yuta and Rika's relationship, it's easy to play with and easy to, just stretch it out.
I love it. And you made a great point about the characters having so much depth. And Kayleigh Yuta is just goes through quite the arc here. He kind of shuts himself away from society early on. He gets put in jujutsu high, and to see all this amount of growth in one film and to see it play out in one sitting, how fulfilling was that for you as an actor?
Honestly, it was immense. It's the first role that I've gotten to explore those depths so completely. And I really enjoyed seeing that growth within him and getting to explore that within myself and find the energy that I can bring to that to make it authentic in my own way. It was both a challenge to overcome and learn new skills with, as well as a really good chance to play and show things that I haven't been able to show before that I had already developed.
Anairis, you're also voicing Yelena in Attack on Titan. How cool has that been, seeing that final season air and getting to see all the fans react to all the twists and turns?
Oh my goodness. I've read the manga, so I kind of know where Attack on Titan is going, but it's really exciting to see you know, to see the fans react to these big moments, to these, crazy twists. Um and who knows what's coming up, but I think fans have a lot to look forward to when it comes to more Attack on Titan.
Definitely. And Kayleigh, I wanted to ask you, being a trans voice actress, how has your experience been with the acceptance inside the industry? I feel like you being the, top bill here, means a lot and is some progression being shown.
I, as far as acceptance in the industry, I've found so much just friendly openness. There have been struggles. There have been hurdles to overcome, and unique problems that even from people who are supportive that can cause issues. Especially one of the things that I fight against the most is people who want to be supportive and don't want to upset me or make me feel offended. And I think if your heart is in the right place and you've educated yourself even a little bit, I would rather just have the questions asked. And so there have been hurdles to overcome, but the acceptance that I've found in overcoming those hurdles, and I think from the attitude that I take toward it, of being an open book and wanting to have those conversations respectfully and in a friendly, compassionate way, has been really, really pushing me and other friends who take the same approach forward and opening avenues for other folks. At least I would like to think so, and I want to leave more space in the industry than I take. I want to create more space than I ever sit in and take up. And I hope that that is happening.
That's wonderful. Anaris, Rika is very protective of Yuta. Can you speak to just the bond they sort of share in this film?
We get to see in the trailers just just kind of the classic childhood best friend, and you get to see this innocent love that is portrayed, and then within the same trailers you'll get to see how it becomes very, very toxic, or very, perverse in a way that is very interesting to explore. And I think a lot of what I like about Rika and Yuta's relationship is that, it's something. I think this whole trope of oh hey, here's a character that is haunted by this person they used to love. I think that has been played out before, but now we get to see it played out in such a grounded way, in a way that really explores the psychology of both Yuta and Rika. And I think it's really interesting to see where they start, see where they, are at the beginning of the film, and then see where they end up by the very end.
Awesome. And then my last question, Kayleigh, was there any particular scenes that really stood out as being maybe your favorite to record? Maybe some of the fight scenes. I know that can be fun doing all those different noises.
Doing fight scenes is honestly so fun. My favorite scenes that I probably recorded are one that there's a good couple. This movie's so full of amazing stuff. But one where Yuta is for the first time taking a moment to consider himself, where he's at, what's going on, and not like thinking about like does he want to die or anything. Just thinking about what's happening in the world. It doesn't sound that like powerful, but for a person who struggles with like depression and suicidal ideation type of things, um, getting to that moment where you simply consider around you and don't fall into those spiraling thoughts is really important mentally for somebody's growth out of those pits. And so I really liked that scene, especially because he has a really sweet interaction with a friend during it. And so that, as well as when there's high energy moments, but he takes the time to stop and have a very tender interaction with Rika, the energy of those moments, because it's things that it halts to just be for them for a moment. And those were always really nice.